All right, so hey everybody, welcome back. I'm GC. I'm here with Francis.
Hello.
Yeah, so we're gonna show you a bit how the pirate hero functions works. So like I spoke about before, there was like three main pillars we're using for this character. One of them was, which was that she's easy to play. So that translates for us in this case with having a rather small moveset.
No reflex guard.
Quite effective. We also want her to be versatile, so you'll be able to see how that works being versatile in that she has a lot of depth. So even though her moveset is quite small, with a lot of her options, you have a lot of different attacks you can perform at a lot of different times, which is kind of interesting. It makes her a lot very versatile. Maybe like you're going to be, in this situation I want to use this or that, so it's kind of interesting there. And we also want her to be mobile, which means that in a lot of cases, she moves quite a bit when she performs her moves. That lets you like reach other opponents in group fights and stuff, so it's kind of interesting. So first, let's do the honorable thing here, Francis.
Yep, taunt. We're fighting.
Go.
Yep, give him a free hit too.
There we go.
Yeah, that taunt's kind of but...
All right, so let's fight. So first off, her chains, rather simple. She has light into light.
Undodgeable light.
Any direction. You'll notice that second light there is undodgeable. She has light to heavy. You'll also notice that heavy is also armored, so that's kind of interesting there. And she can do heavy to light and heavy to heavy.
So the second heavy is not undodgeable.
Right? Pretty simple. We're good to go. The interesting thing the hero has is that after every single heavy attack, you can hit the guard break button and you're gonna get a pistol blast, which uses the pistol in her left hand. So if the heavy attack hits like this, the guard break button actually
behind the back
a guaranteed shot. So that bullet is like if your heavy attack landed, the pistol blast of hers is always guaranteed. However, if the attack is blocked, we have this one that is dodgeable, right? So if Francis gets hit by it, you'll see we shoot the opponent in the stomach. But that attack is dodgeable, so that works quite well.
Okay.
The other thing that's interesting to note is that the pistol blast itself initiates chains. So I can go into heavy, pistol blast, into heavy, pistol blast, into light, for example, right?
Interesting.
Pretty interesting. Okay. So that gives her a lot of an infinite chain that has to alternate between heavy and bash. The gunshot is considered, the pistol blast is considered.
Oh, she does have an undodgeable bash mix up, but the undodgeable is a light,
so that works quite
which is
well.
not that bad.
The next thing we want to look out for is she also has an attack which is called Walk the Plank, which is performed by holding down on the left stick and pressing heavy. You can do that after any single attack, and it'll impale your opponent, and then there's multiple options out of it, right? So after a light, you can do this, impale your opponent.
Ooh!
And you saw that I gave my opponent a little knee to the face.
30
so
damage.
There's 3 different options to get out of it. So you can either do nothing, like this, like we said, knees, that wall splats. So if your opponent is close to a wall, you're gonna get bumped into a wall, then you can get another heavy afterwards or get more damage in.
Gross.
You can also do press guard break here for a quick gunshot to the face in this case.
4
and
damage.
what's also interesting here is that gunshot also initiates chains. So I can go gunshot into a heavy, keep going, do all that kind of cool stuff. So like that flow there is really interesting. It works quite well. That move can be used to gank. It works really well. And last but not least, you can dodge out of it to avoid other opponents.
Okay, dodge cancel.
So that's kind of
with
like the
that.
gist of that attack. On top of that, we have dodge word heavy. Dodge word heavy is the first time we do something like this. The move itself is rather slow, but it's unblockable and armored. So it's kind of interesting that you can do it. Sorry?
So it's a spicy one, right?
Yeah, it's really spicy.
Interesting. Good for ganks.
And on top of that, to make sure that it works well, it also soft feints to guard break.
Oh.
And keen eyes will notice that it soft feints to the fast version of a guard break, the one that we usually use after.
Good opener.
So this way, you can go like that really quickly. That soft feint also applies to the walk the plank as well. So those are 2 soft feint that she has here. Helps you defeat opponents that try to dodge, that sort of stuff.
He's got a lot of stuff, guys.
As well. She also has side dodge heavy attacks. These are heavy.
For 10 damage.
So again, you can go into your pistol blast afterwards, like before. Pretty cool. And last but not least, we have her sprint attack, which is like this. Works well, has a big trajectory, kind of interesting. It also initiates chains and can go into pistol blast as well. And then her zone attack, which is, it's not the fastest one, but it also initiates chains.
It is very
Your
slow.
heavies, your lights.
You'll be using it as an actual zone, probably.
Flank, whatever you like. That works really, really well. And the last thing we want to showcase for the hero's moveset is that she can dodge cancel out of everything, kind of like what we have on Orochi on some other heroes.
Oh,
so
wow.
After any attack, she can cancel the recovery with a dodge, even on miss.
Interesting.
It works on this as well. So what's interesting in this case is that, let's say I land a light, I can go into dodge for the heavy if I'd like to.
Okay.
Or I can go into side dodge heavy, or I can go into this move here. I can do whatever I like, right? So it's pretty interesting how like she's really, really, really mobile and versatile, and that's what I meant. So after anything, whenever if you're in a group fight, if you're in a 1v1 or whatever happens, you have a lot of her options at your disposal after any attack that you land. So it's pretty interesting how she can go really wide, do a lot of different things, but still keep the pressure on opponents and be able to be a bit slippery.
It's interesting that she has dodge cancels
range as well. We can see that those heavies go quite far.
Oh, that's like some warlord range
and
right
the
there.
same applies to a pistol blast, right?
Ooh.
So again, the goal of this is to be able to target swap between opponents, be able to reach them. Her attacks have quite nice trajectories. She can hit a lot of different people around her. So
It'll be scary in team fights.
Okay, so now let's just do a quick showcase of what kind of things she can do, right? So let's go a little bit nuts here.
How you can keep chaining after that is crazy. Look how fast he died.
And with a little execution.
He didn't even go out of stamina.
Right,
He took out all his health without going out of
That
stam
looks
and without
really
spamming heavies.
Okay. See, so like even with this, what I find interesting is that I was able to chain a bunch of different things that normally I wouldn't be able to. I started with a light, and that whole chain ended up like completely destroying Francis. It works quite well, so it's pretty interesting. So that's about it for the moveset. So we're gonna move on to feats.
Oh, no
Francis is gonna
deflex.
explain to us a little bit
No
about the
full
feats.
guard, so
All
interesting.
right. So let's talk feats. Francis, you want to run through the pirates' feats?
Yeah, for sure. So first feat for pirate is going to be one called Armor Piercing Slug. So it's super simple. You're just going to throw a bullet towards your enemy. When it hits, it's going to do a defense debuff and deal direct damage. Pretty simple.
Yeah, let's look at it. So from neutral.
Yep.
So it's pretty interesting too, because that feat is
Okay.
That feat actually lets you do range damage, right? Which is one of the things that we didn't want to have.
A ranged
like,
attack
on
for a
demand
feat.
at all times, but you can still perform range attacks a little bit with her pistol.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for feat 2, we have a feat called Pocket Bomb. This one is also pretty simple. You just throw a bomb at somebody. It has a small radius, and it deals also damage when it impacts. It also has a really cool animation.
Impact damage.
Yeah,
Interesting.
You can do that one.
Let's have a look.
So it did damage around when it hit him. And then it did 25 in
pretty cool.
addition.
Yeah, exactly. So for feat 3, this one is I think it's a really cool one. I don't think we have something like that in the game right now. It's called Trick Shot, and it's basically a projectile that will bounce on contact to another close target. And that feat can bounce up to 3 times, considering the the initial target.
Ooh.
It's a 4 attack if
That's gonna
all
be
the
nutty
enemies are in
damage.
the vicinity. So we can showcase that one.
All right, so let's look. So I'm gonna shoot it at the Yorm here, courtesy of Benjamin, that you guys know from the Warriors Land a bunch of times.
See what the damage is here.
Yeah, so see, so it's very
Oh.
interesting, right? The bullet hit the Yorm and then bounced the Kyoshin, dealt damage, and applied bleed as well. Right?
Exactly. So it's also worth noting that this may sound like super strong, but you can also dodge it at any point to stop the ricochet from happening, right? So if you can do it again.
Yeah, I can't right now because it's still on cooldown, but we'll be able to do it. It's okay. So what's interesting there is how many targets can it hit?
So it's 4 targets, right?
4
so
targets.
we say it's 3 bounces with the first target. So basically just keep in mind that it's a 4 target attack. But at any point, right, if you're dodging, you're just going to stop the ricochet from happening to other targets nearby.
And can it hit minions? Can it do any of that
It
stuff?
can't hit minions. It can hit yourself or other allies, but it won't bounce or ricochet from an ally or whatnot. It can hit the king in breach, and I don't think it can hit the guardian.
Okay. All right.
But
Perfect.
that's
Okay.
All right. So what about feat 4?
Oh, it doesn't hit minions.
so feat 4 is called Gunpowder Surprise. It's I mean, I'm just gonna let you showcase it.
Yeah.
Just because it looks super cool.
All right. So let's go.
So yeah, so this is basically Jormungandr's tier 4, but shootable, right? You don't get the armor from, you know, the Jormungandr. This can also hit the pirates, so you want to be sure to use it in a more strategic way than just using it when you're inside of the AoE to hit yourself. It will also bump your allies, and it also deals damage to whoever's in there. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
So it can knock down
So
allies?
is your feat still in cooldown?
My 4th one is in cooldown, but I can do my 3rd one again if you'd like.
Yeah. Try it just to
Okay.
see.
So let's go.
And I didn't dodge, so
Yeah.
bloopers, I guess.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Right.
So I when I was introducing the heroes and stuff, I noticed that I actually said it, that we have a little surprise in store for players with the pirates feat. So can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I think this is something we're pretty proud of. It's not a new tech per se, but it's something that's been incorporated into the whole hero. What you're going to be able to do with this character is at any point when you're able to use your pistol blast, you can just use a feat instead.
Oh.
Just to swap it out. You say, I don't want to use pistol blast, I want to use my trick
But
shot.
Hino Kiri
and,
could already
you know,
do
maybe
this with
hit
her
the first
Simon
target, and then
Zakura.
hit the other targets to protect yourself. It's all doable with this tech.
Okay. So if I understand correctly, anytime I use a pistol blast, so basically if I do this, right? So
Yeah,
instead of that
you're
pistol
going to be
blast,
able to use the feat.
I can use my feet. Okay, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's see what
That's
it looks
interesting.
like, right? So I'm going to be on you. I'm going to throw a heavy, and then I'm going to go into the feet instead of doing pistol blast.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Okay. That works quite well. Can we do it to feet 2 and 4, right? Because they're not
Yes.
gunshots?
So we can even use them with feat 2 and 4. The only difference is it's not quote unquote guaranteed
Okay.
if you're hitting, right?
So let me give it a
'Cause in
shot.
this scenario, you're hitting. Yeah. So
Okay,
here
so
I could have dodged and
you
rolled
could have dodged
away
it,
or
okay.
whatnot, but you can still use it in chain, which is great.
Interesting.
So
I
you
think
can
too
probably
what's interesting as well is I can target swap them, right? So I'm gonna
Yep.
be on Ben here. I'm gonna do heavy target swap, and then I'm gonna go into my feet 3. Oh wow, okay. This is actually pretty interesting, right? Like
Yeah.
it feels quite strong. I can go into my feet 4 as well. We can showcase it. It's dodgeable still, right? So you can go. See, so it
You'll
hit
be
me,
able-
bounce me, hit me.
I doubt he's
dealt
gonna be
a
able to
little bit
dodge
of
that
damage
one,
to me
though.
as well.
Exactly.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And is there another little trick to those feats? Because
I
that's
don't know.
already pretty cool tech, right?
Yeah. Can
okay.
you tell me about that?
Yeah. So what's interesting also I find with these feats is that not only can you use them in your chains, they also initiate chains, just like the pistol blast, right?
What?
So I can go heavy into feet into heavy again afterwards. Which
That's gonna get people.
is super interesting because normally like we wouldn't really have feats that not only we can use in chains. We've had it a little bit. Little unknown tech Hitokiri can actually chain into her 4th feet.
Yep.
After pretty much every single attack. It's just not very well known or used.
Nope.
But this is the first time that we actually put it as a big part of a character's fight kit, being able to do that sort of stuff. So it's kind of interesting, right? So I can go like this, like that. That's pretty
Ooh.
cool. All right.
Yeah, so it's
He's
gonna
gonna be
great to
creative
see,
in
you know,
team
how,
fights.
like all the plays the pirates are going to be able to do. Maybe we're going to sit on social medias. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that should be super interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
so one last thing I want to showcase real quick because it's something that we haven't really seen much. Is that so before when I was showcasing the pirates pistol blast, so you have this guaranteed pistol blast after a heavy, right? So what happens if you want to target swap? So this is the first time we've also done this, which is if you stay on the same target and your heavy attack hits and you press guard break, the hit is going to be guaranteed on your main target. However, if you target swap, instead of keeping on your target and doing a guaranteed hit on that target, you're actually able to do target swap and go into the other pistol blast like this, right?
Oh.
So this is pretty interesting also
Okay.
because that we really wanted the character to be able to weave in between opponents quite a bit in group fights. That gunshot, the pistol blast is like 500 milliseconds, so it's super quick. It's hard to react to in group fights, so you really need to be aware when you're fighting her, when you're outnumbering her, to be able to fight well and to
Pistol
be aware
Blast
of
doesn't
what can
look
be
too
done.
fast because you were kind of
That's it
stuck
for,
shooting
the Pirate
somebody.
Hero. We hope you enjoyed this little thing, and we're going back to the regularly scheduled programming in the Warriors then. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
It's like a cool
And
hero.
just like that, we are back here.